I didn't cry when my father said no. I just stood there, bouquet samples still spread across the table, his voice echoing through the phone like static. "Sweetheart, I can't make it. Your sister booked us a trip to Hawaii. It's been planned for months. Months. My wedding had been planned for a year." I said it was fine. I even laughed, told him he deserved a break. But the silence after the call felt heavier than anything I'd ever carried. That night I sat in my gown fitting, watching the seamstress pin the last fold of white satin. The mirror didn't show a bride. It showed a daughter no longer chosen. He wasn't always like this. When I was little, he was my anchor, my biggest fan at recitals, the one who held my hand when Mom left. I believed loyalty was in our blood, his promises as solid as the ground he walked on. But when my sister came back into his life after years of silence, he folded. She was his new redemption story. Her apologies were tears. Mine were just noise. It started small. Missed calls, canceled dinners. Then one day my wedding invitation came back unopened. "She didn't tell me it was that weekend," he said when I confronted him. I remember his face. Guilt twisted into defensiveness. That's when I stopped asking and started planning. I didn't plan revenge at first. I planned peace. But peace needs two willing hearts. I asked him one last time, "Will you walk me down the aisle?" He said, "It's complicated." That was the last thread snapping. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just smiled, and he mistook it for acceptance. What he didn't see was the folder I slid into the wedding planner's hands the next day. My real plan. I made sure every seat, every speech, every song told a story. But the final scene, my aisle, was reserved for silence. When the day came, the hall was bathed in soft gold. Every face turned as the music began. But I walked alone. No escort, no father's hand, just me. And as I walked, the screen behind me lit up, playing home videos. Me at 6, dancing in our living room, him clapping, laughing. Then clips faded into years later. School graduations, empty chairs, missed birthdays, voicemails unanswered. The soundtrack, "You'll Never Walk Alone." The audience was silent. Some cried. I didn't. At the end of the aisle, my husband waited, steady and proud. I took his hand, not trembling. That was the moment I felt it, the shift from daughter to woman. I wasn't abandoned. I was reborn. My father saw it all from Hawaii because I made sure he did. The link arrived on his phone an hour before the ceremony, titled, "For the Man Who Taught Me How to Stand on My Own." He opened it. I'm sure of that because he called 20 minutes later. I let it ring. Then his message came through. Trembling voice, cracked words. "I didn't realize. I didn't know you felt that way. I thought you'd understand. I'm sorry. But apologies made after the fall are just echoes." Weeks later, he came to see me. I let him in. He stood there, tan from his trip, eyes duller than I remembered. "I watched it," he said. "The video." "You didn't have to do that," I smiled. "You didn't have to say no." He flinched and I saw it, the moment he realized what that message was. It wasn't to punish him. It was to make him see what I carried when he chose her over me. He looked down, voice breaking. "I thought you'd always need me." I took a breath. "I did, until you didn't show up." That silence between us was louder than any argument we'd ever had. He cried before he left. Not the quiet kind, the kind that comes from somewhere deep, where regret turns into salt and surrender. He tried to hug me, but I didn't move. That was my closure. Not forgiveness. Not anger. Just stillness. When he walked out the door, I realized something. I hadn't lost a father. I had let go of the illusion of one. A week later, I found a package on my doorstep. Inside was the photo of us from when I was 6, the one from my first recital. On the back, in his handwriting, "You walked alone that day." But I was the one who should have followed. I kept it, not as a reminder of pain, but as proof that he finally understood. Sometimes the loudest revenge isn't destruction, it's dignity. It's the moment you stop asking to be chosen and choose yourself instead. That was the message I left him. Not in anger, but in truth. He found out who took his place. It wasn't my husband. It was me. I walked myself down that aisle because he taught me how to stand, and I learned how to walk away.